everybody, this is Kaypacha with the weekly Pele Report. And today is December 13th of 2017. And I'm going to try to make my way down to the river without bouncing around this camera too much. Alright. Well, we've got right now, the moon is in Scorpio and she's moving into Sagittarius on Friday. Yeah. Moving on through Sagittarius to a brand new moon conjunct the galactic center, because the sun is also moving through Sagittarius and Venus is also moving through Sagittarius and Mercury is also moving through Sagittarius. And we know the galactic center is in Sagittarius. It's like, oh boy, we got the Sag going on here. Oh man, big time, big time. And what is that Sagittarius doing? Well, you know, the sun squares Chiron. Chiron's over there in Pisces on Friday. Mercury conjuncts with Venus on Friday. And this is just like a huge gathering going on. Yeah, I mean, we know that last week Mercury was conjunct with Saturn for the second time, going retrograde. I talked about that. Yeah. Mercury is the messenger. It came by, it had a conversation with Venus, then it went up, had a conversation with Saturn, goes retrograde, it's going back over that galactic center again to pick up some more what? I see the galactic center as a portal of truth, galactic truth, impacting. Yeah, it's like quantum physics impacting Newtonian physics. Universal truth impacting personal truths. It's all about truth with Sagittarius and natural laws. That's why I'm out here on this river trying to figure out these natural laws with the natural river. The beautiful thing is that the sun trines Uranus on Saturday. Yeah, and then moves along. And after that new moon on Sunday, the moon hits that Mercury-Venus conjunction. The sun trines Saturn. It's all in Sagittarius. And really, by next Tuesday, Saturn moves into Capricorn. And then we've got the solstice point where the sun moves into Capricorn next Thursday. So this is all happening while and in the midst of Jupiter squaring the moon's nodes. So that is a lot to talk about. I don't know. There's no way I can fit this all into a little weekly Pele report, but let me find a place to sit down here, hopefully where it's not too noisy, and talk about what all that means. Hola! Hope that river's not too loud. I'm gonna try to shout a little bit. Battery's a little low on the camera, so I'm under a little bit of pressure. And that's just what Saturn is. Pressure. Concentration. Mercury, Saturn is concentration. Saturn is ego, order, structure, time, chronos. Very powerful, okay? We've had, yeah, the Mercury-Saturn conjunction. We're coming up to the Sun Saturn conjunction. This is all about what? It's square to this Chiron over there in Pisces, which is no boundaries, okay, multi-dimensional, outside the third dimension. So obviously the challenge, the square between what's going on now is multi-dimensional new paradigm, fourth and fifth dimension, okay, kind of imposing itself on the third dimension. And it's like we're at this gate, this portal, wanting to like expand our consciousness outside of ego and order and third dimension and open up into a bigger, wider, broader reality with greater truths, greater understanding, more love, fewer boundaries, insecurities and fears, and realize more of the yoga, more of the union, more of the oneness of all creation. So here we are, infinite spiritual beings on this planet. I'm sitting on a hard rock right now. And life can be like a hard rock. And it's dense. Things move slower. There are boundaries. There is a need for food, shelter, clothing, some form of dependability, reliability. So we make commitments and we make contracts and we make binding unions, and we do all of this order and order and order. I mean, this just like brings me up to, I just did this, you know, this whole hour-long video on Jupiter and Scorpio. You know, it's for the New Paradigm community. Then this last week, I just did a whole another hour-long video on Black Moon Lilith. Has moved into Capricorn. She's going to be there until August. And again, this is order and chaos. Yin and yang, light and dark. Okay, you know, creation and evolution and this whole dynamic that goes back and forth and back and forth. We're all dealing with a lot of chaos right now. Yeah, Neptune, Chiron, Jupiter, all in these water signs. Yeah, and this water is shifting and changing, and whoa, I got leaves falling on me, man. Had a chaotic time here, had a huge windstorm. Trees went down, electricity went out. All of Costa Rica was like in a panic this last week. Anyway. Yeah, and I'm doing a part 2 video, you know, taking this Jupiter in Scorpio through the houses and everything like that. So there's just like, this is a time where I feel like it's really necessary. The whole New Paradigm Dream Team. We're doing a whole Saturn Capricorn course, a 2-month course coming up for the month of January and February. You want to stay tuned for that. I don't know if you get the newsletter, but you know, the newsletter announces all this stuff for me. It's a free weekly newsletter that you can get on the newparadigmastrology.com website. And you can get into the community, and the community is a whole bunch of astrology enthusiasts, you know, that are totally into this stuff, if you want to go deeper. But right now, let me just skim a little more along the surface of things. The new moon on the galactic center, starting a new monthly lunar cycle. Well, between now and Sunday, hello, Wednesday to Sunday, that's like half the week, balsamic, end, finish, close, complete, let go. Okay, you know, like really, especially now the moon's in Scorpio, it's some big stuff. Yeah, big truth. One thing I mentioned in this Jupiter in Scorpio video, yeah, that Jeffrey Green, my teacher and the founder of evolutionary astrology, has really brought up, is that there are natural laws surrounding all the different beliefs. And each one of us has a unique evolutionary intention and purpose for this lifetime. And we set up, okay, we are born into a particular set of genetics, color, skin, culture, religion, economic status, so that we can evolve along our own soul's progression over a long series of multiple lifetimes. And so each one of us goes into what? Atheism, Catholicism, monogamy, polyamory, you know, political beliefs, you know, economic, capitalism, socialism, communism. I mean, there's a huge variety of truths, okay, in this dimensional reality. Jupiter, yeah, and Saturn deal with this dimensional reality. And so we each create a life, a certain dharma in each one of these, and we study, we learn the natural laws and the consequences of our beliefs, of our decisions, of our choices, according to the beliefs that we have. And as we evolve, we change our beliefs. And therefore we change, you know, political things or relationship things or religious beliefs. I mean, these are all, yes, as we change and evolve, we change and grow and we move. And Mercury is the left brain. It's coming now through Sagittarius, which has to do with the right brain intuition. And then it's coming around to this galactic center, which I feel is, like I say, this portal of universal, multidimensional truth that kind of goes beyond all these religions and all these beliefs. And it just is. And this is really kind of a return to source, kind of a transcendent or kind of an opening and enlightening process. So what we're all bumping up against now is our limiting beliefs and how we have limited ourselves, maybe how we have not been totally honest or true or knowing. Maybe we've been conditioned. Saturn and the moon both coming around here. We're going to have a moon-Saturn conjunction right after the new moon. Have to do with the past, childhood, family, social conditioning. How much of who we think we are, how much of our identity is wrapped up in our parents' belief systems, in our cultural beliefs, okay, in our societal approaches, even like right down to currency, I mean, so Saturn and Capricorn, they have to do with our reputation, with our persona, with the mask that we wear in order to fit in, to get the job, to get promoted, to be financially secure, okay, to be respected. So we all, we do our best, okay, we put our best face forward, and we try to look our best and do our best in the eyes of our peers, our employers, and whoever we put on as an external authority. And Saturn comes around, and of course this new moon, this galactic, is that mask, or is that persona, or is your identity and the world that you have built around these things true for you, for your unconscious spiritual soul intention, which is deeper and bigger and wider and broader, okay, than just trying to get your needs met in any particular relationship, job, scenario, house, home, apartment, whatever, yeah? So we're all kind of, this Mercury-Saturn is reflect. And then Mercury-Venus, Venus has to do with our values, the ruler of Taurus, the second house. What do we value? What are we attracted to? We give value to, okay, things that we desire, and our desires emanate from our soul. So this is a whole shifting. Sagittarius is a mutable sign, and I just really want to, give everybody like a little bit of permission to be wrong, a little bit of a permission to like fall down, or to change your beliefs, or to change your realities, or to, to like really, this is a time to recommit or uncommit and set new goals. Saturn's going to be in, Capricorn for 2.5 years, baby. Woo! We got big stuff coming up. Lucifer is there. The south node of Pluto and Saturn are there. Pluto's there. Yeah, Lilith is there. I mean, wow. And the sun, this is going to be one heck of a Christmas. Saturn is also like the Lord of Karma. So it's like, what we have done kind of comes back. And part of, like I said, its consequences. Yeah, and so like we're all kind of also dealing not only with setting new goals, but also with, the commitments and the goals that I have set. Maybe you've reached some of your goals. Congratulations. You set these goals 7 years, 14 years, 21 years ago. I set this goal. I want to be that. And now you're there. Yeah, it's culminating. Da-da-da-da, you made it. Is it what you thought? And now that you've reached this point, okay, well, where do I go from here? So it's time to set new goals, and it's just like, whoa, baby. Yeah? To set these new goals, we need to go deeper, and this is the Jupiter in Scorpio. Okay, this is all this stuff squaring Chiron in Pisces for Chiron's final pass before it goes into Aries. So it's a pretty intense time. It can be somewhat heavy. It can be challenging conversations. It can be where you want to just be alone and reflect, but you've got too much work to do or too much business. And Saturn is responsibilities. We've got all these responsibilities now. And how can I even think about the future when I'm just trying to pay the rent? You know, I mean, it's just like, so the Saturn is also like this pressure to grow up, to carry more, to be more, to become more of an authority. So it's, you know, take it easy on yourself. Yeah? And you could feel guilty for not making it or ashamed of yourself. Saturn and Capricorn deal with doubt. I can begin to doubt myself because I did not succeed. Or, you know, I failed the test, or my peers, or, you know, my spouse, or whoever, you know, has judged me and I have failed. Oh God, what's that movie, man? A Knight's Tale or something, you know, that you have been tested, whatever, you know. I forget that. He's a great actor, man. That was a great movie. Anyway, yeah, so the mantra for this week, right? Like it or not, I live in a world with laws, rules, and regulations. The more I see, study, and learn, the less trauma I'll have when I meet them. It's like the greater we, and this is Sagittarius, higher mind, philosophy, university, 9th house is the expansion of consciousness. So it's really the more we can get. I think I talked about this too, you know, in some video I did. I don't know, man. Zeus and Jupiter is very impersonal. Scorpio's the death and the end of personal ego to live more of a social purpose. So the more we really evaluate our actions, our deeds, our goals with a social impact and how we are leaving a legacy or something for the future, this is really, you know, something to focus on more and more and more. And the more we do that, yeah, the more perspective we get. The more subjective and the more personal we are, the more we can really be thrown hither and yon when we bump up against a bigger truth or a bigger law or a greater reality. Scorpio is other people's values and forces beyond my control. So this can be a time where, yeah, we may hit, you know, some traumatic emotions, some sudden shiftings and changes. The sun is trine Uranus. Uranus is lightning bolts of awareness. We may get some lightning bolts that maybe upset our old truth or our current situation. And we can be traumatized unless we have studied astrology. Unless we have, you know what I'm saying, you know, meditated or, you know, read, studied, learned that there's more than this little society, this little religion, this little approach, this little relationship, this little reality. There's bigger and bigger circles. Yeah, it's like, you know, this is a time throwing the stone into the still pond, right? And it's all, the concentric circles expand. It's a super great time for expanding, and I want to wish you the best and the least amount of trauma as you change and mutate and grow into the best version of yourself that you can possibly frickin' be. Just breathe, big breaths through all of this. I'm going to be doing more videos on the year 2018 and what's coming. I'm doing something with, I don't know, I'm hooking up with all kinds of different people. I forget. Get the newsletter or something, and I wish you the very best one more time. Like it or not, I live in a world with laws, rules, and regulations. The more I see, study, and learn, the less trauma I have when I meet them. May you meet those laws, rules, and regulations, boom, and either like embrace them or expand beyond them into the fourth and fifth dimension. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.